Hi, my name is Grace and I'm a first year vet student here at the Royal Dick School of Veterinary Medicine, and today for my first vlog I thought I would speak to you about the sport clubs and societies that both the main university and vet school provide, and also at the end answer some frequently asked questions for first years. So something that I didn't realise when I was applying for Edinburgh Vet School is that the vet school itself has its own sport clubs and societies, and then also the main university has its own sport clubs and societies, and as a vet student you can take part in both and pick and choose what you want to take part in. So that gives you such a huge range and variety of different clubs and sports, and there really is something for everyone. So to give you some examples of some sports at the vet school, there is vet hockey, vet polo, vet climbing, and also a snow sport club, which are all really cool. It means you can make friends with lots of vets and also vets from like other years, which you don't really get to see or like socialise with from the school. There's also lots of societies you can take part of, such as like the Pathology Club, the Wildlife Conservation Club, Animal Behaviour. If you're musical, there's a Dick Vet Musical Society, and also if you're arty, there's an Art Society. So there's really so much to get involved with, and that is just within the vet school. If you'd like to go check out all the societies and clubs that you can join at the vet school, you can go onto the Dick Vet Student Union website and it will show you all the clubs that are currently running and give you a little taster of what they do and how to contact them if you'd like to join. So at the main university there's also such a wide range of sport clubs you can take part with. I'm personally part of the gymnastics and trampolining sport clubs. It's such a great way to socialise and make new friends of people who've got the same passion as you. The socials that the clubs also put on are really good fun. I've been up Arthur's Seat with the gymnastics club, I've been out clubbing with the gymnastics club, played Halloween games, lots of different things. I will insert some videos here of me doing gymnastics with the club just to give you a little taster of what it's like. So the main university also has lots of other sport clubs such as athletics, canoeing, dance, equestrian, motorsport, gliding, fencing, kickboxing, sailing, wakeboarding. So there really is a sport out there for everyone, and during Freshers Week I would really recommend going and trying new sports. I personally tried wakeboarding and climbing and it was so much fun to get to know these new people and to find and try new sports. If you'd like to go check out the sport clubs that are currently available at the Edinburgh University, then if you go onto the Edinburgh University Sports Union website. So the main university also has lots of other societies if you're not into sport. So there is an animation society, baking, coffee society, conservation biology, crafting and sewing, the Disney Society, fashion society, jazz, salsa, yoga, tons of different things that people can get involved in. There really is such a wide range and there really is something for everyone. And if you can't find a club that's for you, then you can make your own. So if you'd like to go check out the current societies at Edinburgh University, you can go onto the Edinburgh University Students Association website, and on there it will show you all the different societies and you can scroll through all of them to find out which one would be good for you. So now I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions for first year starting out university. So the first question I'm going to ask is how I settled into university life. So obviously it is a big change from coming from secondary school. I personally took a gap year as well, so that also I was out of education for quite a while, so that also was quite a big change and jump. I've also never lived by myself, so that was also a big change, but I did have the advantage of being Scottish, so I do already know what the culture's like here. But what I would recommend is take as many opportunities as you can during Freshers Week. Go try new things, socialise with new people, and that really helps you settle in and find people that are like you. Make sure you go to the events that the sport clubs and societies that you want to join are running, and therefore you can find people who are like-minded like you and make lots of friends, and that's where I've met lots of people and still have friends from. It also helps you find your way around the city a little bit going to all these opportunities, which helps to settle in, because during Freshers Week I found out where the gym was, where the different sports hall were, and lots of other things like that, where the good coffee shops are, where the meadows are from my accommodation, so it just helped me get my bearings a little bit around the city. I would also just say, like, don't be too hard on yourself during the first few weeks of university. Like, it is a big change, you have less independence, sometimes you don't know what to do with yourself during your free time, and you have to organise your own schedule and your own timings and become a lot more responsible for yourself. So if you do need to just take time to relax, then that's also totally fine, and just get used to the culture, having independence, and also the Scottish weather, because it's very unpredictable. You can't get used to it. So another frequently asked question is, what is accommodation like? So I am personally in catered halls, so that means I get my breakfast and dinner provided for me. I go to a canteen and there are set times, so breakfast is 7:15 to 10:30 and dinner is 5 till 8. These times have never been a problem for me being a vet student. I've always been able to get back in time to eat, so that's good. For lunch, there is a pantry that is on our corridor where there is a toaster, kettle, microwave and fridge, so you can make yourself lunch, you just can't cook anything. I have personally preferred this because it means I have one less stress with not needing to cook and going to the shops to buy food. And that also, I feel like, has helped me settle into university, going back to the last question, because I just have one less stress. So it makes the life slightly easier and slightly easier to adjust, because I don't have to cook for myself as well as looking after myself every other way. However, I do have to point out that being at Pollock Halls, there is a slight schedule difference with being a vet student, so there are some days during the semesters that the catered facilities are not available, as only vet students are on campus working. So on those days you do have to fend for yourself and cook your own meals or get a takeaway. You also don't have flatmates as such in Pollock Halls, as in everyone lives in the same corridor more than in blocks. So it does mean that you don't see the same people every day making food, and you don't really sit with the same people every day. But that's just a preference for some people. I don't really mind. I've got friends from other blocks and from other courses or vet students, so I'm okay not having flatmates, but some people much prefer having flatmates and seeing the same people every day and making really close bonds with those people. So the last question I'm going to answer is, was it easy to make friends? Now, this was something that I was personally worried about being in Pollock Halls. As I said, we don't have flatmates, but it goes back to the same answer, as in just take as many opportunities as you can in freshers to go out and meet people. I went to the gymnastics socials and trampoline socials, and I met lots of people there that I'm friends with and still friends with now. I would also say join the WhatsApp and Facebook groups for the university before you come. There's lots of different groups, such as for your accommodation, for different clubs, for just freshers in general, and even for hobbies. So I would look out for those groups and try to join as many as you can, and especially your accommodation one, because it means you can start speaking to people that's going to be in your accommodation that you're likely going to see around. I actually found my neighbour in one of those chats before I came, which meant I got to speak to her and get to know her before we arrived, so that was really nice, and that's led us to be friends since freshers to now. Thank you so much for watching my vlog, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!